Hello everybody, welcome back to Noita Every Day. Today is one of the days of all time. It's March, probably. I did a funny live stream because I didn't end up making a video yesterday. I went to bed early. I am now going to bed not early. You know what? Fine, I'll hold on to this. Actually, I might throw it away just to spite certain people. But, I did a live stream where I had to do like exercises dependent on if somebody subscribes, if I die in the game, if I beat the game, if the video gets liked, and a bunch of other convoluted or just random related to what's going on type of things. And I would have to do a push-up and a sit-up and another thing. Y'all ugly. Push-up, a sit-up, and a squat every single time, just to be sure. It was very difficult. No, there was not a camera, because I am not going to do a camera. But I did do it, and it sucked. Kind of a lot. We need to go get the alchemist stuff. I'll probably do something like it again soon. More likely nearer to the, whatchamacallit. Oh, did he leave? He left. He warped. Alright, we'll use that to warp back to him. Oh, heck yeah. 480. That's real good. Where stands the alchemist one? Anyway, y'all know that game Bad Piggies? I decided to play through it to try and get every single unlock in the game, and it sucks to do it. But the unlocks are, like, really cool. Or at least the later game ones are. Specifically the alien parts, which are basically just the original things, but cooler because they have special functions attached to them. Like an engine that's like just super freaking fast. It's just way faster than the normal engines. Or a wheel that's small but can be moved by motor, but it's motorized. It's a motorized tiny wheel. It's amazing. An infinite explosive, a super punching fist. It's hilarious. It's so good. Bad Piggies, top tier game. Gotta be in my top 100 of all time. Gotta be in my top game of all time. No, Noita's my favorite. Bad Piggies is up there. It ain't number one, but it's one of the best games ever. In my opinion, anyway. My opinion don't mean diddle squat. Unless you actually care about it, which you don't need to. It's my job to care about my opinion. Ah, great. Blew myself up. Explode yourself, too literally. I mean... There's probably a way I could get this to work really well, but I don't have the resources to do that yet. And there's no chainsaw, so nope. We will not be doing that. However, Toxic Immunity is kind of awesome, and this one heals you, which would be pretty useful. But I'm taking immunity because it's tradition. Anyway, on an unrelated note, Minecraft, pretty cool game, right? What if I told you there was lore? What if I told you, perhaps, that the timeline of the game might be a little bit uncertain? Or more specifically, the timeline of it and the other games in Minecraft's series might be uncertain. We know for a fact that Dungeons and base Minecraft have to come after Legends because of the sole fact that villagers and every other monster in the world are no longer peaceful with each other. This is a pretty easy one. But we can't, it's kind of hard to tell if Legends, or not Legends, if Dungeons or base Minecraft came first. And the reason for this is because pillagers and illagers are against villagers in both games, both Minecraft and Dungeons. Minecraft Dungeons, to be precise. But the villagers are only captured in Dungeons. In base Minecraft, they just straight up kill the villagers. No mercy, basically. Oh, come on. This wand sucks. Now I'm trapped here until it can break a single couple pixels. Dude, break the pixels. How is this hard for this stupid thing? Go. Anyway, I still am not entirely sure as to which one came first. And it's kind of hard to determine it because there's not many things that would, well, tell us which is which. We have the, I guess, the music disc from Legends that is inside of base Minecraft. It's inside of an ancient trail ruins. But oddly enough, there aren't very many ruins inside of Minecraft dungeons, other than those of the enormous pyramid that you encounter. There aren't really any that have, like, historical value, because the game doesn't have any way to really focus on that. Oops, physics moment. So it just doesn't, you just never really see any, like, important to the lore type things. Dude, there are so many good spells here. Why? Why do you have to do this to me? We know something bad's going to happen now. That's just the way of this game. Anyhow, as I was stating, right, we don't know where Minecraft dungeons and base Minecraft fall on that, like, I guess, hierarchy, on that timeline, simply because there's no way to know. There's not really a definitive answer throughout all of the Minecraft games. Oh, hold on, I just have a triple cast. Why don't I just use that? You idiot! This is a bad idea, but it's pretty funny, so we're going with it. Alright. Now, there are some things that make me think that Dungeons comes before base Minecraft, and that's the existence of the Heart of Ender. In base Minecraft, a lot of the end is pretty much empty. There's like a couple of mobs. He just got evaporated. There's a couple of mobs that you encounter, those being specifically Endermen and Shulkers, literally only two types of mob, normal mob, with the dragon being sort of an outlier since they only appear once under very specific conditions. Whoa there. I gotta get out of here. I gotta get out of here, man. Why did there have to be two commanders over there? The one thing I can't fight on equal terms. Alright, that guy's dealt with. And I have 6 health. Never mind, 4. Oh, they're chasing me. That's no fun. Well, not for me, anyway. Alright, that's dealt with. Hold on, just give me, like, a little while. I need to survive. There's another one. Get me out of here, man! That's not fair. I gotta keep going. I don't think that's good enough. Pheromones, we're going to befriend a hummies. Anyhow, the most glaringly obvious example, the existence of Elytra in both games, the existence of the end in both games, which we never see at all in Legends, just the piglins. Piglins are ruined inside of both base Minecraft and Minecraft dungeons, but, big but, there are more unique variations of them inside of Minecraft dungeons, which would mean that it would either come directly after or directly before, which is the issue, because it could be that they were all wiped out during Minecraft dungeons by the players, but it could also be that they just suddenly appeared during dungeons, and this is just a new thing for them. They just brand new decided, let's use warped fungus as a weapon. But then there's also the existence of, like, special treasure rooms in the Nether that you can locate with lots of loot from piglins. So maybe that means that the piglins lost all their treasure because the players came around and took it during the events of dungeons. But then base Minecraft just doesn't have a bunch of the things that Dungeons has. A bunch of the structures are just not there or even close to being related, or those that are highly different between games, which means that they had to have been entirely removed between the two, or just simply don't show up anywhere in Minecraft's world. Normal Minecraft's world. Which actually might make some sense, and makes me think Dungeons has to be before base Minecraft. And there's a reason why I need to know all of this timeline stuff. Because if I know when everything happens... Oh, right, the existence of the Deep Dark. It just straight up never is encountered in Dungeons. I don't think they ever added it. I'm gonna check the wiki on that one. But if it doesn't exist at all in Dungeons, then that means that base Minecraft has to come after. Because that seems like a pretty epic position and a place that we could have gone to in Dungeons, but we just don't. Dude, there were so many good spells, too bad I had to pass up on all of them. Anyway, back to speculation. It's gotta be after. I can't think of a reason why it would be before. Or, no. Yeah, base Minecraft has to be after Dungeons. I can't think of why it could be before. There's not many reasons. Well, I mean, there are lots of reasons why it could be before, but it's not, like... I can't believe how good I am at contradicting myself. It's great. Specifically, there aren't, like, an insane amount of pieces of evidence for either way. Like, yes, end cities exist in both games, but they're much more advanced and cool-looking in Minecraft Dungeons. And that would probably mean that those don't exist anymore in base Minecraft, because they would have gotten stripped away after the Heart of Ender was annihilated by the player. Which, you know, makes some amount of sense. But also, in Dungeons, the player character is much more adept at utilizing magic, or specifically soul magic, because that's Minecraft's magic system. I don't feel like explaining this again, or talking about it right this instant. Basically, the entirety of Minecraft's magic system is based on souls and their energy. That's it. That's literally the entire thing summarized into a few sentences, or a few words, a single sentence. It's very important to be known because you kind of need to know it to understand a lot of the stupid lore bullcrap. Anyway. Yet again, anyway. Hold on, I was going to say something very important. Why do I talk about Minecraft lore? Why are there two cold mages here? I'm talking about Minecraft lore because I think it's interesting. That's the one thing I need to say really quickly. I like speculating on it. It is something that I feel like people probably should read into a little bit more, because there's a lot of stuff I just don't really agree with when it comes to base Minecraft's, to an understanding of Minecraft's, like, story. Originally, yeah, I agreed with a bunch of it, but then I've seen more and more theories, and I've noticed that there's a lot of things that aren't really consistent or potentially disprovable with other evidence. Most of the community agrees there was one ancient race that was split among many, many different groups, and that's what the player character is derivative of. You are from the old group of people, but Dungeons had those people still there, right? They still existed. They helped save the villagers again. But, and quite a large but, then they just screwed off again until the events of Minecraft? That doesn't make too much sense. Lore-wise, why would they have left? Did a rat just kill me? One more run! It doesn't make much sense lore-wise for the ancient race to just leave. Because even if they were basically wiped off of the face of their planet because they had to leave or die, there would still be remnants of them. There would still be some small fraction of them that stayed behind because of how statistically unlikely it is for all of them to leave or be killed. Although I guess that could still happen. But I think that the remnant is the player characters, or perhaps that the player character is completely unrelated to the ancient race that built everything. And that doesn't make too much sense. But the theory behind this ancient group of people once existing and then suddenly not existing because they discovered the Wither also makes a little bit of sense. And by a little bit, I mean it makes very significant sense. They discovered the power to bring things back from the dead, or at least utilize soul magic to animate a body. So they decided, what would happen if we did this with this guy? But the reason why I disagree with that is because of the existence of withered skeletons in the first place. They are enormous. They are much taller than the player is. And if that's the case, and the Wither is what chased the people away, then those skeletons have to come from somewhere else. They can't be the same as the people who... the ancient race, the people who died. Unless the ancient race, the people who died, were much taller than the player character. Which does not appear to be the case, except for with one possibility, which would be the Endermen themselves being the ancient race in the first place. And you're probably thinking, but context, that makes absolutely zero sense, and you are completely incorrect. And the main reason I say this entire theory, is because I think that it is possible that the ancient race was the Endermen always. They did not evolve into them, or at least when they did evolve into them, it was pretty much the instant they were in the end, or very early on. They had to have been Endermen very early on, because who would have built the end cities otherwise? It can't have been the baseline ancient builders. The size of end cities suggests that it had to have been Endermen. Everything in end cities is structured around being 3 blocks, or 3 meters approximately, tall. It wouldn't make sense to build that way if you didn't have a bunch of people around who weren't that tall. But every single piece of architecture in the entirety of the end is structured around that. Around, like, very, very much so larger than the player. Shulkers are smaller than the player, but, well, that's because they're shulkers, and they're there to defend these cities. But Endermen are not. They are 3 blocks tall. So unless the Endermen, while under the control of the Heart of Ender, built these end cities, it seems much more likely that the ancient race turned themselves into Endermen or something around that, utilizing soul magic. That seems like the only possibility if we're the same thing as they were. They had to literally change themselves using the magic, which I'm pretty sure is physically possible. But I don't know if they would have done that, or even if they did do that. Because, by all accounts, it makes a little bit of sense. Unfortunately, when things make a little bit of sense, there's often issues. So, the ancient race of people, what the frick did they do? They left to the end and built cities, right? But why would they make them 3 blocks tall if they weren't 3 blocks tall? That is my entire theory. That is it. There's like nothing else there to go off of. Ow, frick, I blew myself up. Woo, I love being dumb. Haha, explosions. Okay, I deserve that. I'm gonna go one more time, and then I'll just stop, because I need to stop dying. And probably go to sleep. Anyhow. Right, Enderman stuff. We see various types of different Endermen during dungeons. Those being the baseline Enderman, and the bunch of extra goobers, like the guys who worship the freaking... the god, or whatever, the Heart of Ender. And then you have the Endermites, which do exist in dungeons, but they don't do much. They're just there. It's just like regular Endermites. You've got the End Guardians, guys in the end who guard it. It feels more like, or more likely that if there was an ancient race, they did not slowly change over time from eating chorus fruit. They changed very quickly from something that happened before the end. I don't think... Actually, are nether fortresses built around 2-block tall individuals? Because if they're built for 3 blocks, then that would just pretty much prove the point that I'm thinking of. If they're built around 2-block tall, which is what I believe they are, then no. But I guess, oh, no, they probably are built around 3-block tall, since wither skeletons can traverse the entirety of them. Which would mean that, yes, the wither skeletons are whatever the ancient race was. But they're the same thing. You are not wither skeletons. Piglins do not like wither skeletons, probably because they are a derivative of the original ancient race. But then there's the existence of skeletons inside of Soul Sand Valleys. Those wouldn't be there unless, well, things with regular human skeletons died there. But we do know that they probably did not. When they entered the Nether originally, they probably died a bunch. Like, it's really treacherous in the Nether. Thankfully, not enough so that we die instantly, but it's treacherous enough that you could be dead to a fall, or to, I don't know, Steve. Some other person attacking you could absolutely end you. Oops. You'd be surprised. Actually, no, you wouldn't be surprised by the number of times I've done that. I don't know, it just seems kind of odd that there was always an ancient race that was always the same until they decided to go to the end. And then they changed. Only then. But for that to be the case, nothing else could have changed at the same time, or it would have been less likely for change to occur inside of other things. But we see that other creatures evolve over the course of dungeons, at least, or base Minecraft. They've evolved from something else. Context, what the frick are you talking about? If we're looking at dungeons specifically, we can see the evolved versions of regular Endermen, which are basically just the weird variants that appear in the end, probably because of the Heart of Ender. You know, those exist. But maybe Minecraft Dungeons isn't even canon. It isn't even a part of the lore. Legends is a derivative of a likely very true story. But Dungeons, I don't remember if that was ever stated to be a part of Minecraft's story. Minecraft story mode isn't, it's just like, haha, well, what if giant evil wither? It's cool, but, you know, it's not, ooh, best spell in the game. It's not actually important, or not super important. I have basically been rambling about absolutely nothing for this entire video. It has just been Minecraft. It just doesn't make sense. Legends has to be a derivative of the original story of what had to have happened. There had to have been a war between piglins and the surface, the overworld and the nether. And I don't think the end would have played any part in it. Because it probably wasn't even, like, accessed by anybody at that point, probably. But, huge, enormous but. Uh-oh, I forgot what I was going to say. Hold on, I've completely forgotten. Oh, right. But there's a lot of events in Legends that have to be true. that had to have happened. Like, at some point, there was a war between the overworld and the Nether. The End couldn't have had any influence during it because they didn't really exist and did not have any form of contact with the overworld at that point. Nobody had gone there. Nor attacked dragons, nor hunted them to extinction. Or, I guess if you follow another theory, made the dragons, which I don't think makes particularly... This doesn't seem very sensible to me. I heavily doubt that one. If only I had a laser beam. Get parried. Oh, never mind. Get parried. Get parried. I thought I could do it. Let me think. Holy frick, you have a lot of health. Haha. Ignition. Ancient race is still confusing to me. Somebody explain how they physically could be Endermen. Because I understand the idea behind them evolving by eating chorus fruit, but then what about Endermites? Where did they come from? Where could they have come from? There's no way they could have come from. Endermites come from ender pearls. That's the only way to find them during base Minecraft. I don't think they spawn in any other way than naturally in dungeons. And for ender pearls to exist, you need endermen in the first place. Are endermites? No, they're not offspring. They're just probably like a parasite that evolved. It just exists. It's there. The endermen don't like it, but it's not... Like, maybe it's what lives in the chorus fruits. Maybe it is the chorus fruits. Maybe it is a evolutionary... From an evolutionary point, like a larva, maybe, or something? By eating chorus fruit, you have a chance of getting infected with one of these... With a endermite, which can eventually change you into an enderman if you wait long enough. I mean, that would be cool and all, but it wouldn't make sense because, again, the existence of wither skeletons. Who, I don't... Why are they tall? Somebody, please give me an actual reason. Is there an actual reason? Other than freaking yes? They just are because they are? There has to be, like... Oh, that's because they were Endermen at this point, like I was trying to think of, but I don't know. Like, were they just initially taller than the player is? Ugh, it's too late for me to be playing this and actually focusing. And I can't focus on multiple things at this point, I'm too tired. Shouldn't have done this. Well, shouldn't have speculated on Minecraft lore the entire time. I still don't really understand. Because, like, wither skeletons have to have existed for a while. For, like, a long, long while. But they can't be Endermen because we don't ever see them teleport. And we don't see them have any of the particle effects. And they don't really have the facial structure of Endermen, which have jaws that can just straight up unhinge. They can't be the same thing. But what did Endermen come from? Did they come from the Heart of Ender? Where did the Heart of Ender come from? Was it made by Ender Dragons? Maybe it is an Ender Dragon's heart, and then it's just infused with an insane amount of soul magic. I'll probably have a better idea on this later, but what is the Heart of Ender actually? Because we never really see an Ender Dragon during dungeons, or even legends for that matter. If the Heart of Ender is it's the entire main boss of dungeons, then what did it come from? Has it always existed? Because if it's always existed, then that would mean that Endermen would have had to always have existed, because the Heart of Ender's, like, general shape looks like Enderman. Or actually, it could also just be that the Heart of Ender itself is what warped the ancient people into Endermen when they entered the Nether. We know that generally purple effects are synonymous with the teleportation, so that could be in relation. I don't know. I'll theorize more later. I need to go to sleep. Thank you so much for watching, though. And most importantly, have a nice day. Bye!